Hello, I thought I'd bring you something a bit different today and do a review of the 3 writing magazines that I get regularly and am subscribed to. I like writing magazines just as a sort of boost at the start of the day. I'll read through a few articles and it will get me in the mood for my writing. So yes, as I say, I'm subscribed to 3 regularly and I will show you all of them and then tell you which my favourites are. So I'm subscribed to these 3, which is Writing Magazine, Writers Forum and Ms. Lexia. Probably the most well-known out of these is Ms. Lexia, so I will start with this one. It is a quarterly magazine, so it only comes out, I think, 4 times a year, which is a shame because I would like a bit more of it, but never mind. It's probably one of the most high-end magazines, so it's a bit more expensive. I think I pay about £24 to subscribe to this for the year, which for 4 magazines is quite a lot, but it's worth it, I think. It's a good magazine. I've got a few issues with it because it's a writing magazine for women. You'll see it says for women who write, which is a bit sexist, I think. If there was a writing magazine for men, everyone would kick up a fuss. But anyway, so yes, the articles in this are all sort of written by women, about women writers, etc, etc. But I like it. As I say, it's a bit more high-end, so the stories in there are a bit more literature-based rather than plot-based, and I kind of like that. It's a bit different. I've actually entered their magazine competitions a few times because they have sort of every issue has its own magazine competition. They've got sort of short story competitions, memoir competitions, pamphlet competitions, which is like a pamphlet of poetry, I think, and things like that. So it is a good magazine. As I say, only 4 times a year, but it's well worth it, I think, especially if you're into sort of more literature-based writing rather than, as I say, plot-based writing. Next, I'll go on to Writers Forum, which is a monthly magazine, and I have to say this is probably my favourite monthly magazine because it's just based at a slightly younger audience, and it's good because it's got a sort of monthly competition which has no theme, so it's easy to enter, and also you can pay, I think if you're a subscriber, it's about £8, and you get to enter the competition and get a feedback, which is just a sheet which sort of has very basic feedback, but it's nice to get a bit of feedback because I hate entering competitions and then you never hear back from them. So it's nice to get a bit back and just, know where, if you haven't gone right, why you haven't gone right and things like that, and then it can help you edit. And the writing competition is probably the only reason that I'm still subscribed to this one, I think. As much as I like the articles in here because they are a bit more young and trendy, they are quite repetitive. I mean, I've been subscribed to it for about 2 years, so I think I've read sort of every article that's going to happen in there. But as I say, I still subscribe to it because it's purely worth it for the £8 feedback that you get. These are probably the ones that I enter to most often. So far, not been successful, but I've got one in the works, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah. So it's about, I think I pay £38 to subscribe to this in a year, so it's not bad. Not a bad price, and I think you can do sort of offers where you pay, say, £9 every month and every three months, I think, and then you get like freebies with it and things like that. So it's worth looking into sort of what offers they do because a lot of them do, and I know Writing Magazine, which is the next one, also do the same thing. This is probably my least favourite of them all, but it is very useful and probably more useful than any of them. Whoops, stuff falling out. Writing Magazine, I find, is based at a slightly older audience. As you can see, the people on the covers are always a bit older, and the interviews they do in there with authors is generally with older authors, and the stories as well. I find a lot of the people that are published are sort of older, and they're aimed at an older audience. But it's useful because the majority of this magazine is a writer's news section, which just has all of the competitions that are around, all the new magazines that are coming up that you could enter sort of articles to and things like that. So it's very handy in that situation. If you're not knowing what to write next, just flicking through this, you'll find a competition that you can enter. And I find that's really handy prompt. If I'm sort of trapped a bit, I'll find a competition and sort of write a story based towards that competition. I think with this one, I do it every 3 months. I pay £9.99, and when I did that, I got three little books that were about how to get your book published, how to do creative writing, and how to write a novel was the other one, I think, and they were really good books, so it's worth doing that, I think. You can also, I think, get binders and things to keep them in and stuff like that, so it's worth subscribing to purely because it is probably the most sort of business orientated one of them all, and that's useful. It's good to know what's going on and where the competitions are at the minute. So this one's my least favourite, as I say, followed by Writers Forum and Ms. Lexia is my favourite. So just a quick video there. I have to say all these magazines are based in the UK as far as I know. I don't know if you can get them abroad or anything, because as I say, I'm based in the UK and I get them. So let me know if you're subscribed to any other writers' magazines that I haven't sort of mentioned here, and I'll be interested to look into them. I've tried a few, and these are the three that I find are most consistently interesting and good and inspirational for me. So yeah, let me know. Bye.